My brothers and sisters of Africa, I stand before you today accused, threatened, and targeted by the very forces that have drained our continent of its lifeblood for centuries. They send me messages through INTERPOL, telling me I must kneel, telling me I must surrender. They believe a paper stamped in Europe or America can silence a son of Africa. But I say to them now, hear me clearly. Africa will never kneel again. My brothers, my sisters, my fellow Africans, my voice today is not only the voice of Ibrahim Traoré, president of Burkina Faso. My voice today is the echo of generations who resisted, who bled, who dreamed of freedom, and who never surrendered. My voice is the cry of a continent that has been silenced for too long. They say they have issued an arrest warrant against me. They say Interpol has signed papers stamped with seals, demanding that I bow, that I surrender, that I let myself be paraded as a criminal before the courts of those who once enslaved us. But I ask you today, who are they to judge me? Who are they to judge Africa? Who gave them the right to dictate who is a hero and who is a villain in our land? They call it an arrest warrant. I call it desperation. They claim it is about justice. I tell you it is about control. Interpol, instead of fighting true crime, has become the obedient servant of empires that fear the rise of a free Africa. They think they can put chains on me because they have always put chains on us. But those days are gone. The chains have been broken, the lies exposed, and the fear destroyed. Interpol pretends to fight crime, but when Africa cries out against the true thieves, those who loot our resources, those who bribe our leaders, those who destroy our nations, Interpol is blind, deaf, and silent. Yet when an African leader stands to defend his people, when a voice rises to say no more, suddenly Interpol becomes awake. Suddenly Interpol finds its pen. Suddenly Interpol discovers its courage. I say to Interpol today, your warrant does not scare me. Your papers do not bind me. Your threats do not touch me. You are nothing but a tool of empires, and Africa no longer bows to empires. To Emmanuel Macron, to Joe Biden, to Donald Trump, to every Western leader who hides behind the mask of democracy and justice, I call you out today. You have no moral authority to lecture Africa. You who plundered our lands for centuries. You who chained our ancestors and sold them across oceans. You who drew artificial borders with pens dipped in African blood. You who stand on podiums speaking of human rights while your corporations strip our soil of gold, of uranium, of diamonds. You who send NGOs by day and mercenaries by night. You who talk of partnership but practice exploitation. You are the criminals, not us. You are the thieves, not us. You are the liars, not us. I do not fear your sanctions. I do not fear your weapons. I do not fear your courts. For I carry within me the strength of 1 billion Africans, and that strength cannot be arrested. That spirit cannot be silenced. That dream cannot be killed. I want the world to know I am not afraid of their threats. What they fear is not Ibrahim Traoré the man. What they fear is the idea that I represent, an Africa that owns its resources, an Africa that refuses exploitation, an Africa that will not trade its dignity for aid, loans, or empty promises. They cannot arrest an idea. They cannot imprison a revolution. They cannot exile the spirit of freedom that is alive in every African heart today. Let them hear my voice in Washington, in Paris, in London, in Berlin. Africa is awake. We are no longer the silent spectators of our own oppression. We are no longer the beggars at a table we built with our gold, our oil, our cotton, and our blood. From this day Africa speaks, and the world must listen. When they accuse me, I must ask, who are they to judge Africa? Yet our youth remain jobless. They shout about democracy, yet they applaud when African leaders sell their people for dollars. We are not blind anymore. We see the truth, and the truth has made us fearless. So let me speak directly to Emmanuel Macron. You cannot silence me with threats. Let me speak to Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and all who think Africa is still their playground. The era of manipulation is finished. You can send your soldiers, your sanctions, your threats, but Africa will resist with unity, with courage and with faith. My African brothers and sisters, the attack on me is not just about Ibrahim Traoré. It is about Africa itself. If they succeed in silencing me today, they will come for another tomorrow. If they destroy Burkina Faso today, they will target Mali, Niger, Congo, Guinea, and every nation that dares to stand. That is why I say to all African leaders, this is the hour to unite. This is the hour to stop being divided by language, by border, by colonial history. This is the hour to form one front, one voice, one determination. Because the enemy we face is united in its greed, in its lies, in its theft of our future. If they are united in exploiting us, then we must be united in defending ourselves. To the African youth, do not believe the lie that your future lies in exile, in fleeing across oceans, in chasing visas. Your future is here, in Africa. This soil is yours. These resources are yours. The dignity of your people is yours to protect. Stand with me. Stand with every leader who dares to resist. Do not allow yourselves to be used as tools of division. Unite as one African generation, ready to defend the continent. Unity is not a dream. It is a necessity. Without it, they will crush us one by one. With it, no power on earth can ever defeat us again. I want every foreign power to hear me clearly. Africa's resources are for Africa's children. Our gold, our oil, our uranium, our cocoa, they will no longer be shipped out for free while our people starve. They will no longer enrich bankers in Paris, generals in Washington, or corporations in London. They belong to Africa, and they will serve Africa. For too long, they told us we must trade our dignity for aid. They told us our leaders must obey or face punishment. They told us Africa cannot rise unless we accept their rules. But I stand here today to declare we reject their rules. We reject their chains. We reject their control. If defending Africa's resources makes me a criminal in their eyes, then let them call me a criminal. If standing for my people earns me an arrest warrant, then let them write 1,000 warrants. But I will never betray my people. I will never sign away our future. I will never kneel to foreign powers. This is not just my stand, it is Africa's stand. Every African farmer, every African miner, every African child denied education while their wealth feeds Europe. This is their voice I carry, and that voice will not be silenced. My brothers and sisters, this struggle is bigger than me. It is bigger than Burkina Faso. It is the destiny of Africa. For centuries, they made us doubt ourselves. They told us we were weak, incapable, too divided to lead ourselves. But today we prove them wrong. Today we declare we are strong, capable, united, and ready. Let the world hear this. Africa will not bow. Africa will not sell its soul. Africa will not surrender. We are rising, and nothing can stop us now. To the African child listening to my voice, believe in your worth. Believe that your soil is rich, your culture powerful, your history glorious. Believe that no foreigner has the right to decide your destiny. To the African leaders listening, choose the path of courage. Choose the path of dignity. Choose the path of unity. For if you betray Africa today, history will never forgive you. And to the powers who send threats, sanctions, and arrest warrants, understand this. You are not facing one man. You are facing 1 billion Africans who are ready to defend their home. You can issue your warrants, you can spread your lies, you can try to intimidate, but you will fail, because a people who have found their voice can never again be silenced. This is my oath. I will never kneel, I will never surrender, I will never betray Africa, and I know you, my people, will stand with me. So let us rise as one. Let us defend our dignity. Let us build our own future. Let us show the world that Africa's time has come, and no INTERPOL, no empire, no threat will stop us. Africa will rise. Africa will unite. Africa will be free. Brothers and sisters, let us speak plainly. They do not hate Ibrahim Traoré because of who I am. They fear Ibrahim Traoré because of what I represent. I represent an Africa that refuses to be a colony. I represent an Africa that dares to say our resources belong to us. I represent an Africa that will no longer export raw gold while our children go hungry. that will no longer ship out oil while our hospitals lack medicine, that will no longer sell uranium for pennies while our homes are dark. I represent the Africa they thought would never wake up. And now that we are awake, they panic. They send arrest warrants, but in truth they are the ones who should be arrested. Arrest Macron for stealing Africa's CFA franc and chaining entire economies to Paris. Arrest the CEOs of mining companies who leave behind poisoned rivers and hungry villages. Arrest the generals who fund coups, the bankers who launder African wealth into European accounts, the consultants who write contracts that enslave nations. If there must be justice, let justice begin there. But we know their justice is selective. Their courts are built to protect their interests, not our dignity. Their laws are designed to keep Africa on its knees, not on its feet. That is why I reject their warrants. That is why I reject their courts. That is why I reject their so-called international order. Africa, my family, let me tell you this. The attack on me is an attack on all of us. If they silence me, they will silence another tomorrow. If they destroy Burkina Faso, they will march next into Mali, into Niger, into Congo, into Guinea. That is why this is not my struggle alone. This is our struggle. And in this struggle, unity is not optional. It is survival. I call upon every African leader who still has dignity in his chest. This is the time to stand. No more excuses. No more hiding behind empty words. No more begging for aid while signing away our lands. Stand now because history is watching. Stand now because your people are awake. Stand now because tomorrow may be too late. I call upon the African youth. Do not be deceived by their promises. They will offer you visas if you betray your land. They will offer you scholarships if you remain silent. They will offer you jobs in foreign lands if you abandon your homeland. But remember this, no matter where you go, you will always remain African. And Africa needs you here. Africa needs your courage, your intelligence, your energy, your refusal to surrender. Do not let yourself be used as a pawn in their game. Rise as builders, rise as defenders, rise as the generation that finished the work of freedom. I call upon African mothers, African fathers, teach your children that their soil is sacred, that their heritage is proud, that their destiny is not to serve others, but to stand free. Tell them the truth of our past, so that they will never again accept lies about our future. My people, I will not betray you. Let the world hear this clearly. No matter how many warrants they issue, I will not betray you. No matter how many sanctions they impose, I will not betray you. No matter how many armies they send, I will not betray you. If defending Africa makes me a criminal in their eyes, then let me be the proudest criminal in history. If refusing to kneel makes me dangerous in their books, then let me be the most dangerous man they have ever known. Our resources are ours. Our land is ours. Our dignity is ours. And from this day, no one will take them from us again. Let me speak of resources because that is the heart of this battle. They want our gold, our oil, our uranium, our cocoa, our coltan, our copper. They want our diamonds, our cobalt, our timber. But they do not want our people to live in dignity. They want the wealth of Africa without the freedom of Africa. They want the treasures of Africa without the voices of Africa. But I stand here to say never again. From now on, Africa's wealth will serve Africa's children. Do you hear me, Africa? Our gold will build our schools. Our oil will power our hospitals. Our uranium will light our homes. Our cocoa will feed our people before it sweetens their chocolate. Our diamonds will build African industries before they sparkle on European fingers. This is the future we choose, and no warrant can stop it. Yes, they will resist us. Yes, they will threaten us. Yes, they will send soldiers and spies, but they will fail. They will fail because Africa has awakened. They will fail because our people are no longer afraid. They will fail because a generation has risen that refuses to be slaves. I tell them, you may have your armies, but we have our people. You may have your banks, but we have our land. You may have your lies, but we have our truth. And the truth is stronger than lies. The land is stronger than banks. The people are stronger than armies. They want to divide us, but we will unite. They want us to doubt ourselves, but we will believe. They want us to kneel, but we will rise. So hear me, Africa. This is the hour of destiny. This is the moment our ancestors dreamed of. This is the chance we cannot waste. Stand with me, not for me, but for yourselves. Stand for your children. Stand for your land. Stand for your land. Stand for your dignity. And to the powers of the world, I say this: arrest me if you can, silence me if you dare, kill me if you must. But know this, even if Ibrahim Traoré falls, 1,000,000 more will rise. Even if you destroy Burkina Faso, Africa will still march forward. Even if you bury me in chains, my words will live, my spirit will live, the revolution will live. Because this is bigger than me. This is Africa's time. This is Africa's stand. This is Africa's victory. So I declare today, before God and before the world, Africa will not kneel. Africa will not surrender. Africa will not be silenced. Africa will rise. Africa will unite. Africa will be free. And no INTERPOL, no empire, no threat will ever stop us. And so I tell you, my people, Africa's freedom will not come from negotiations in Paris, nor from signatures in Brussels, nor from promises in Washington. Africa's freedom will come from Africans, standing together, shoulder to shoulder, refusing to bow. It will come from the courage of our soldiers, defending their soil, from the resilience of our farmers, feeding their people, from the wisdom of our elders, guiding us with history, from the fire of our youth, demanding a future worthy of their sacrifice. They fear this unity. That is why they try to divide us into Anglophone and Francophone, into North and South, into Christian and Muslim, into tribe and clan. But we must rise above these divisions. We must say to them, we are one Africa, from the Nile to the Niger, from the Congo to the Kalahari, from Dakar to Dar es Salaam, from Ouagadougou to Addis Ababa, one people, one destiny, one future. Let them know that when they threaten Burkina Faso, they threaten Africa. When they insult Niger, they insult Africa. When they sanction Mali, they sanction Africa. When they destabilize Congo, they destabilize Africa. And when they issue a warrant for Ibrahim Traoré, they issue a warrant for all of Africa. My brothers, my sisters, remember how they always operate. They weaken us with debt. They trap us with aid. They suffocate us with sanctions. They bribe our leaders. They corrupt our institutions. They poison our airwaves with propaganda. They make us ashamed of who we are. But this poison no longer works. The African spirit is immune now. We have learned. We have seen. We are awake. I say to them, your time is up. You can no longer deceive us with your lies. You can no longer divide us with your tricks. You can no longer rule us with your fear. The age of submission is over. The age of resistance has begun. The age of African victory is here. And yes, victory will not be easy. They will come harder now. They will send more threats, more warrants, more sanctions, more troops, more disinformation. But we must be ready. We must be disciplined. We must be united. We must build alliances with those who respect us, not those who exploit us. We must invest in our own armies, our own industries, our own schools, our own media, our own systems of trade. For the chains of colonialism are not only military, they are economic, cultural, psychological. To break them, we must be bold in every field. Let us begin by reclaiming our money. Why should Africa's currency be printed in Paris? Why should the value of our economies be tied to Europe's banks? This is slavery dressed in suits and ties. The CFA franc must die. A new African currency must live. A currency backed by our gold, by our oil, by our production, not by European approval. Let us reclaim our resources. Why should uranium from Niger light the streets of France, while Niger's children study in the dark? Why should cocoa from Ghana sweeten chocolates in Europe, while Ghana's farmers cannot afford bread? Why should oil from Nigeria fuel foreign cars, while Nigerians wait in endless fuel lines? Why should copper from Congo build smartphones in America, while Congolese children die in mines. This is not development. This is robbery. From this day, let Africa's resources serve Africa first. Let us reclaim our security. They tell us we need their soldiers to fight terrorism, but who created the chaos? Who armed the militias? Who benefits when Africa is burning? Those who sell the weapons, those who control the contracts, those who profit from instability. My people, the fight against terror will be won, not with foreign bases, but with African unity, African intelligence, African courage, and let us reclaim our dignity. Too long have we been told that we are not enough. Too long have we been told that our traditions are backward, our cultures primitive, our systems inferior. But I tell you this, the wisdom of Timbuktu, the courage of Shaka Zulu, the vision of Nkrumah, the resilience of Sankara, these are not relics of the past, these are the foundations of the future. We do not need to imitate the West. We must build the Africa that reflects who we are. My voice rises not to boast, not to provoke, but to declare Africa is awake, and once awake, Africa will never again close its eyes. To INTERPOL, to the West, to the global powers who tremble at this awakening, your warrant is meaningless. You cannot arrest freedom. You cannot imprison dignity. You cannot exile a dream. You cannot silence a continent. But to my people I say this, do not only applaud my words, live them. Do not only celebrate my defiance. Practice it in your daily life. Refuse corruption. Refuse betrayal. Refuse division. Refuse to be bought with dollars and euros. Defend your land, your dignity, your people, your future. Because I am one man, they can kill one man. But they cannot kill 1 billion determined Africans. They cannot stop 1 billion hearts beating with pride. They cannot defeat 1 billion fists raised for freedom. Yes, they can try to bury me. But if they bury me, know this, I will become the seed. And from that seed, Africa will bloom 1,000 times stronger. If they silence me, know this, my silence will become a roar in every African soul. If they destroy me, know this, I will live in the spirit of every youth who refuses to bow. This is my oath before you all. I will not betray Africa. I will not surrender Africa. I will not kneel before those who think they own Africa. I was born African. I will live African, and I will die African. But Africa itself will never die.